Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video we will learn about security basics. Basics about security like cryptography and the principles of security. So first of all, what is cryptography? Cryptography is the study of secure communication techniques. When there is a conversation between a sender A and a receiver B of the message or the information, how your data is being secured is all known in cryptography. There are three techniques to secure your data. When the message is sent from A to B, or from the sender to the receiver, it is not sent directly. Actually, it is encrypted first, then it is sent, and then when it goes to B, it is decrypted. So first of all, what are the ways to encrypt and decrypt the data? There are three ways. The first way is secret key or the symmetric encryption. In the symmetric encryption, a secret key is used to encrypt and decrypt the data. Then there is asymmetric encryption, in which the data is encrypted with the help of public key and then decrypted with the help of private key. There are two keys. And then there is a third way, that is hashing. Hashing basically means that with the hash function, your data is encrypted into hash text, and then that text is sent to the receiver, and then it is converted to the plain text again. So let us see it diagrammatically. In symmetric encryption, the secret key is used to both encrypt and decrypt the data. In asymmetric encryption, the public key is used to encrypt and private key is used to decrypt. So basically what happens is, when the data is sent from A to the B, suppose A is the sender and B is the receiver. Okay, so A requests the public key of the user B, and then with that public key it encrypts the data, and then when it goes to B, when encrypted data goes to B, that is known as ciphertext. When it goes to B, it is decrypted only with the private key which the B user has. So no other third party user can get the data, because it needs a private key to decrypt it. So this is again for the security purpose. And then the third technique is hashing technique. In hashing techniques, as I have told you, the plain text is converted into hash text with the hash function and then decrypted when it goes to the receiver side. So now let us move towards the security. What are the methods in which your data, in which your message is being secured? First is confidentiality. There are many principles of security. First is confidentiality. What do you mean by confidentiality? Confidentiality is basically when you send a message from the sender to the receiver, the message is only seen or accessible by the sender itself and the intended recipient. So no other third party user must be able to access the data. This is the saying of confidentiality. So what if a third party attacker attacks on the confidentiality of a message or something? So when it attacks on the confidentiality, see here, a sender is A and the receiver is B. The message must only be seen by the sender and the receiver, that is A and B. But the third party attacker, which is C, is a hacker, and he tries to attack on the confidentiality and sees the message and is able to access the message which is sent from A to B. This is known as interception. The attack on confidentiality is known as interception. Okay, so this was first principle of security. Then the second principle is data integrity. What do you mean by data integrity? In confidentiality, it shows that the message is only accessible to both, and when the attack comes, that means the third party user is able to see your messages. Okay, then what is data integrity? When the data integrity means when the message sent from A to B should be same as it is sent. Means if a sender sends a message, for example, A sends message to B, that is, send me rupees 100. Okay, So this message should be the same when it goes from the A to B. If it changes, what if it changes? See, if the principle of data integrity says that it should be the same, but when a third party attacker like C attacks, suppose C is a hacker and it attacks on the data integrity, so what happens is it can access the data. First of all, it can access the data, and then it can change the data, it can modify the data according to his needs. He changes the path. So here the send me rupees 100 is the actual path of the message from A to B, and then the attacker change the path from A to C and then from C to B. First the message goes to the attacker and then it goes to B. So attacker can change or modify the message. That is, it says send me rupees 10,000 instead of 100, and then B will say that yes, the message has been came from sender A, and then it will send rupees to A 10,000. So modifying the changes in the messages, that is known as modification. When there is an attack on data integrity, modification takes place. Okay, this was the second principle of security. Now what is the third principle of security? That is authentication. Data should be secure from A to B. That is okay, wait, when the data sent from A to B, how would B know that the data is being sent from A only? Like C, you can see in data integrity, it is not able to recognize whether the message is sent from from A or C. So B receives it, but he is not able to recognize from where does the message came. So that their authentication comes into picture. So authentication is basically a documental proof. Your PAN card or your any other proof that shows your identity is known as authentication proof. So authentication basically means you have to give a proof of yourself that you are sender of the message. This is principle of authentication. Now again, hackers are very stronger, so they can attack on authentication or principle of authentication also. So when a third party user like C sees a hacker, he tries to attack on the authentication of your message, and C, he can receive what does he does, he changed the path of the authentication proof only. He gets the somehow he gets the access to the authentication proof or the documental proof which A has sent. So when C has that authentication proof and it gives the authentication proof of someone else's, like A, he pretends to be A but he is not A. So that is known as fabrication. When someone pretends to be someone else, is known as fabrication. That means the attack on the principle of authentication is known as fabrication. Then next principle is non-repudiation. What do you mean by non-repudiation? When the message is sent from A to B, the sender of message is not able to deny the sending of message. Like he cannot refuse that the message is sent by him only. He cannot refuse that the message is not sent by him, although he has only sent it, but he cannot deny. That is non-repudiation. What do you mean by access control? Access control has two parts: role management and rule management. It decides which part of the data is visible and whom it is visible. So role management is basically who can access the data. He is the admin of the website, so he can see the particular part of a data, and others are non-admins, they cannot see the data. So whom to show the data and whom not, that comes under role management. What is rule management? When there is a company, the company says that I don't want to show this particular part of the data because it is very private or has sensitive information. So that is rule management. Rule management does is, it does not makes the data available for any of the user or any of the person. So as a summary, role management decides whom to show the data and rule management decides which data to be shown. Then the last is availability. What availability says is, um, the authorized person of the authorized person should be able to should be able to see or access the data at the particular period of time or when it needs the data. So for an example, let us say A has a Facebook account and B wants to access that Facebook account. So B does not have any password of that particular Facebook account. So what he does is try to put random passwords and try to get into the account, but he cannot access the account because he is not aware of the password and all the password patterns are failed. Then what happens is the account gets blocked, but the account is of user A na. Then user A cannot access the account because it has been blocked because of some unauthorized user, that is B. So this should not be the case. That is known as principle of availability. It makes sure that the data should be available to the authorized person at all the time. So if there is attack on such kind of attack happens, suppose B tries to attack on the data of A and A gets those data unavailable whenever he wants to see it or access it, so that is known as interruption. Interruption is the attack on availability. So this was the last attack this was the last principle of the security. And thank you for watching my video. That was all about cryptography and security basics. Thank you.